Hello everybody. That was my intro. I hope you liked it. I'm sorry for being off topic, but if we graph subs and time, we've always been on 2 subs forever, but today we have jumped to 3 subscribers. That means there's one more person that finds me interesting, and it's really cool, right? Like I can't believe I got another subscriber. It's a big deal. So I'm gonna make this video. I'm really happy. It's a beautiful day for math. So we're gonna be doing some circle equation questions. So as you can see, 2 marks, 7 marks. This is 9 marks from this paper if you want to try it out yourself. These are 9 marks. You don't want to lose, guys. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. This is the part of the paper where you can get free marks by just, it's not that hard compared to the rest of, generally. Anyway, let's get started. Circle with center this passes through point this. Find the equation of the circle. First off, we know that the circle general equation. So write that down. X minus a whole squared plus y minus b whole squared equals the radius squared. And what does this tell us? This tells us that a and b, where a and b are the centers, and we've been given the center, so we can plug that right in. So we can say x minus the center x value plus y minus the center y value whole squared equals r squared. Make sure not to make mistakes if the sign is different. Moving on. Now, how do we find the radius? Well, they've told us that it passes through this point. So if you have trouble visualizing, you can always draw the circle with its center. And these intersect, meaning this circle and this point intersect. So that means this point is, we don't care where it is, but it's on the circle, right? And because it's on the circle, the distance between, it's on the circumference actually, the distance between the center and any point to any point in the circumference is the radius. Therefore, we can say that the length of the line segment is the change in y whole squared plus the change in x whole squared. So what's the change in x? 7 minus 5 whole squared plus 5 minus 2 whole squared. That gives us a value of 13. Now 13 is the radius squared. So if you would want to find the radius, that would be root 13. Anyway, so we can say that this value is 13 by doing this math. Moving on. Now, moving on to the next question. I don't know why I did that transition. It was kind of unnecessary. But anyway, moving on to the next question. The line 5x minus 10 intersects the circle at A and B. Find the exact length of the chord AB. Let's draw this. You can always draw, guys. It makes everything a lot easier. So we know this line and this line, well, circle, have something in common. That's these two. So how do we find the intersection of the circle equation and the line equation? This intersection is these 2 points. So they want the length, and like we did in the previous question, we found the length of these 2 points by doing this method, length of a segment equation. So to do the length here as well, we would need these 2 points. Anyway, how do we go about getting these 2 points? If you want to do this question yourself, you can. To get that intersection of both equations, you'd want to start by equating each line to each other. What this does, if you think about it logically, is that it tells us, actually no, we wouldn't equate them. You could equate them, but that would be very complicated. We'll substitute. So we can say this y, we can plug it in this y. So what's the formula of our circle? X minus 5 whole squared plus y minus 2 whole squared equals 13. Now you're basically telling the equation, hey, I want to find out what happens when this and this meet. So for that to happen, you plug this in. You wouldn't want to equate them to each other because there's a y term which will not get cancelled out, which you can't solve. If it is just an x variable equation, then you can equate, but now you can't. So let's substitute instead. Let's substitute this y value here to eliminate y and have an equation consisting of only x. Let's do it. Man, I sound like such a nerd. Okay, x minus 5 whole squared plus, substitute 5x minus 12. This minus 10 and this minus 2 give you minus 12. Whole square equals 13. Expand. A square plus b square plus 2ab, minus 2ab. A big equation like this, to make sure you don't make any mistake, first look at the sign to the left of each term, plus, minus, minus. You don't want to forget that this is minus 13 instead of plus 13. Plus 13 instead of minus. So be very careful when doing this algebra. Alright, now let's simplify further. Let's get rid of 26 as it is a factor of each term. So we can say x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. So solving this will give us a value of x minus 2 and x minus 3. Now we can say x equals 2, 3. Now let's find the corresponding y coordinate for each x, plugging into any equation. So plugging into this equation will give you the y value, plugging into this equation would give you the y value. But it would obviously be better to plug it into this one. So we can say 5 into 2 minus 10, which is 0. So that's one y value. So point A, let's call this point A, equals 2, 0. Next, 5 into 3 minus 10 is equal to 5. So point B equals 3, 5. Now we know point A, we know point B. We can find the length of the line segment. That would be 3 minus 2 whole squared plus 5 minus 0 whole squared, square root applied, which gives us a value of root 26, and that is the final answer. So you can leave your answer as a third, that would be fine, and that's the length of this line segment.